Hello and welcome to a new video. In this video I want to show you the recent stress test for Project Epoch and my thoughts about the server and its quality. So let's dive in. First, if you don't know Project Epoch yet, it's a Classic Plus private server which is in development for a few years now. This server runs on a Wrath of the Lich King 3.3.5 client, but it's tuned down to the Burning Crusade state of World of Warcraft, and it plays in the World of Warcraft Classic Vanilla. This means we have the TBC gameplay and talent trees, but the devs changed them for a new playing experience. Also, they integrated thousands of new quests, mechanics, small quality of life updates, as well as overhauled dungeons, and some of them are complete new like dead mines and also new raid bosses. All those changes are screaming Classic Plus as loud as it can only be. The stress test on Monday was a 2-hour test for the servers. Only pre-registered accounts which played on the beta were able to play the game. At peak, there were about 500 players online. One thing for now, everything was really smooth. There was no lagging, no bugs, no disconnects. The whole server was stable during this test and it was a smooth gameplay experience. So much for the hard facts. Let me show you some cool things I found during this time and my thoughts about it. The first thing I noticed was the racial abilities. Every class has an own RP racial, which gives them a fun gimmick. As an undead, you can use body modifications, which turns you into another undead of your choice for 2 minutes with a 20 minutes cooldown. By the way, you can also turn into an abomination or other big undeads. As a dwarf, for example, you can throw a keg of beer out and get drunk. I wasn't able to test other racials, but this is much love to detail and just a cool tool to play with. It felt to me that the love of detail runs like a gold thread through the whole server. There are so many small quality of life updates and little things which shows how much the devs are caring for the player experience here. For example, you have carts which you can hop in to travel to other zones. Those long walks in Classic WoW will become faster with this while keeping the immersion. One of those carts, for example, is traveling from Brill to the Sepulchre. It's not fast traveling, but it's like a slower but cost-free griffin ride. This is time you can use to get yourself a drink or stretch while watching the world, and it keeps the immersion intact. I, for example, wrote my script during this time here. And there's more of that little detail. Mobs have complete new abilities and spells which they can use. Those wolves are jumping you, for example, so no more staring at each other while auto-attacking. You can see this on the small casting bar. Everything just feels more alive. They even adjusted the audio files. There are organs out there which were howling like I never have heard before. Such small details which some players maybe never notice, but it shows the love for the game. You were also running a bit faster while dead for less travel time while you travel back to your corpse. All those things are not game breaking, but those are just small little quality of life updates which are keeping the spirit of Classic WoW while modernizing bad game design from 20 years ago. Talking about the game, let's go to the gameplay. I obviously chose an Undead Paladin because we never get that on Season of Discovery. A decision which half of the player base chose as well. The undead starting zone was overfilled with pink undead warriors of the light. All those poor undead mobs were judged hard by the light that day. The gameplay was auto-attack based as it was in TBC. Well, I play a paladin, so I'm used to that. Later on, you will get Crusader Strike and the option to twist with Seal of Blood, respectively the new custom undead seal, but that takes time up to level 40ish. Until then, I don't have a new button to press, it seems like. If I compare this to Turtle WoW, they gave their players Holy Strike and Crusader Strike early on, which is probably a better gameplay design for some classes. But I can live with that. Hell, if I play Paladin in original classic World of Warcraft with auto-attacking my way to level 60, I won't complain here. But compared to Season of Discovery, this feels way more old school. I can't talk about other classes, I only played a bit in the Shaman, but for Paladin, this is way more streamlined gameplay. If you're into a Classic Plus experience, which is leaning more to classic WoW instead of retail World of Warcraft, Epoch could be a great option for you because it seems like that's the way they are going to, which you can see in this gameplay style. A good decision I found was the increased spawn rate in the starting zone when a lot of people were on a place. Those zombies and objectives were spawning really fast. Not inside the spider cave though, so we have to see how respawn rates will be on later stages. There were also new quests in the starting zone, like finding a watch inside the spider cave and bringing it to a grave, so you can expect a lot more quests and storylines later on. Something else I found really interesting was after I traveled with the cart from Brill to the Sepulchre, there was this quartermaster there, where you can buy leveling gear with new reputation. For example, a reputation called Sepulchre was a new one where I don't know how to get that yet, but it looks really cool. You can get different gear for leveling and also toys, it seems like. I also found new profession recipes, for example this attuned bronze breastplate is a small armor with intellect, spirit and spell damage for level 20. You can build this as a blacksmith. All those experience I made during the stress test leads me to think that Project Epoch will be a really positive server, a really good server with high quality to play on. So what's my conclusion about the stress test? The stress test was smooth with a stable server. The gameplay experience felt awesome. The server is bringing us a true Classic Plus experience with devs who seem to really care for the game. I only tested the Paladin yet and a little bit of Shaman, but other classes with their new changes to the talent trees and special adjustments to their gameplay might be even more fun to play. There will be complete new rating and PvP matters and new content in form of Arena and Classic World of Warcraft, new raids and battlegrounds, and probably a high population for a private server. If they can keep up this quality on the launch and afterwards, the server will blow up big, and I will have so much fun playing it. I hope I will see all of you next time on the next stress test, which will be open for everyone, and on the launch at the end of this month. If you want to play on the server, let me know in the comments down below what class you are going to play. I will soon release more content about Project Epoch, which includes guides and gameplay, as well as tier lists together with my friend Shielder soon. Thank you all very much for watching. If you found this useful, consider to like and subscribe for more World of Warcraft Project Epoch content.